Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rosalind. On this channel, I feature lifestyle, inspiration, and self-care. In today's video, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips to increase your feeling of self-worth. Let's get started. All right, so before we get started, I kind of want to differentiate between self-esteem and self-worth. I know a lot of times people kind of commingle the two, but they're slightly different. When we talk about self-esteem, it's what we think and feel and believe about ourselves. It's kind of that internal assessment of our qualities and attributes. When we talk about self-worth, it is recognizing that you're greater than all of those things. So self-worth is kind of the belief that you're lovable, you're valuable, regardless of how you evaluate your traits. With that being said, let's start off and talk about the first tip that I have for you today. So the first tip that I have for you today to increase your self-worth is to write down at least 5 things at the beginning of the week that you want to accomplish throughout the week. Now, they should be small, tiny goals that are achievable throughout the week. It could be something as simple as getting up and reading your Bible in the morning, or it could be reading your Bible before you go to bed. It could be going out to exercise. It could also be to meditate. It could be to do a lot of different things throughout the week that you normally don't get to do or you normally don't fit into your schedule. So what that does is it signals your brain and it lets your brain know that you are accomplishing tasks. So you're feeling really good about yourself. If you make a task list or a goal list, and each day that you achieve that, or at the end of the week, if you want to tick off everything that you've done for that week, you look back and you've accomplished your goal of completing or working on whatever you decided to work on that week. So number 2 is you want to read a book. If you are not already a part of my 12-month challenge to read, definitely go to my website at www.rosalindlewis.com and join the challenge. It is a free challenge. We are reading at least 1 book a month. I think it's so important to gain knowledge from reading books, and also sometimes to just take yourself away from the everyday life that you live, step into someone else's shoes. It just really does a lot of great things for your brain. I do also on the website, on my blog, I have a short little write-up about what it does for the brain, so you should definitely check that out. So a book is a great way to feel a sense of accomplishment, and this is going to help your self-worth. So the third thing that you want to do is you want to walk very tall. Walking tall into a room shows that you have confidence in yourself, and it also helps build self-esteem. It also increases your worth, or the way that you feel about yourself. So as long as you have on nice clothing, and I know I talk about this a lot. Again, nice clothing doesn't mean name brand clothing. It just means clean clothing for the most part, and appropriate clothing. I should definitely say that if you have on appropriate clothing, you should feel proud and tall. When you walk into a room, you want to take pride in your appearance, and you want to command attention when you enter a room. And commanding attention does not mean that you have on something flashy, you have on a whole bunch of, cologne, you're wearing a lot of makeup. Your presence and your energy is going to make people kind of take notice of you when you come into a room. My 4th tip is to every day, at the end of the day, at night, by your bed, keep a notepad, and I want you to write down an accomplishment that you accomplished that day. And I want you to feel proud of yourself for accomplishing whatever you did. And it could be something small. Let's say you're trying to lose weight and you got to work an extra 10 or 15 minutes early. Instead of going on the elevator, you took the stairs. I think that is a great achievement, because a lot of people don't like taking the stairs. And because you're trying to lose weight, so it in turn help you with your goal of losing weight, and that helps you build your self-worth. Number 5, saying no. It can be very hard to say no to someone, but you definitely need to practice saying no. When you say no to other people, you're saying yes to yourself and yes to other things that you can actually do and you can actually accomplish yourself. So that in turn is going to help you build your self-worth, understanding that your time is just as important as someone else's time, and you need to be in control of whether you want to do something versus whether someone else wants you to do something and they make you feel guilty about not doing it. You need to be able to stand firm on your no and be okay with that. The sixth point that I have for you is to speak up for yourself. You are going to have a lot of situations in life where you can speak up for yourself. One of the things that I think you should definitely do as far as speaking up for yourself, if you're going for a job or a job interview and you are offered the job, you should definitely counter offer them, even if they tell you during the interview, hey, there's no negotiation here, this is the said price. All they can tell you is no at the end of the day, but you should definitely at least try to counter offer for a couple of $100 or a couple of thousand, depending on what type of job it is. It even could be, a couple of more dollars per hour or a couple more cents an hour. A lot of times these companies, they do have a little bit of leeway in terms of the hiring process and what they can offer. And so you just never know. But stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself if you are being, mistreated, or you think you're being mistreated. If you think you got looked over for a job, you can always, just talk to the hiring manager or the person in charge of hiring and just let them know that you just want feedback so you can make better decisions in the future, or you can interview better, or you can see what you can do to get a similar position in the future. But just stand up, always be a advocate for yourself, so you can move yourself forward. The seventh thing is one of my favorites, and it is to reward yourself. And I know some people will wait until they reach a big milestone to reward themselves, but I think you should reward yourself as you see fit. A good idea would be, let's just say you are losing weight. You've gone for 3 months and you have cut back tremendously on sweets. You've been working out, you've noticed a change in your body. Go and buy yourself a really cute shirt. It could be a new workout bra, it could be some, workout clothing. Just do something that you reward yourself. And that way it makes you feel really good about yourself, and it helps your self-worth to understand that psychologically when we do things, we don't realize that it is triggering something in our brain to let our brain know that we are moving forward in whatever endeavor we are, and it is helping our self-esteem, and it's also helping our self-worth. So number 8 is never let anyone break or force you to break your core values. This can be in any type of relationship that you have, whether it is a friendship that you have with a person, whether it is a full-blown relationship that you have with a person. Whatever your core values are, your beliefs are, you have to stick firm to those. What it's going to do, again, it's going to make you feel a sense of worth. There are some things that you feel like you shouldn't do or you shouldn't dabble in or what have you. Stand firm on those. And that's kind of where creating boundaries come, especially when it comes to friends and stuff. Let's just say you have a friend and she likes to, her extracurricular activities, she likes to, smoke and do other things like that. And that's not something you're into. You definitely should not allow your friend to coast you into something, even if they tell you, it's all natural, it's this, it's that. There are a lot of side effects to a lot of things we eat and we take in our body. You don't know how it's going to, affect you, if it will or if it won't. But if you've already set those boundaries, or your values don't align with whatever your friend is trying to get you to do, you should definitely stand firm and say no. So the ninth thing is to basically help other people. It is to speak life into other people and just to be kind to other people. I don't know how many times I have, just complimented someone, or I've said something really nice to someone, and they've told me, you know what, you're the only one who ever notices XYZ about me. And it's not that I noticed every time that they do it, but when I see somebody, it's almost like that old expression that I used to hear a lot when I was younger, to give someone their flowers while they are alive. So I like to say things in the moment. I don't take the chance of thinking that I'm going to see someone next week or next month or next year, because we just don't know. So I always compliment someone that I'm around, especially if I like something that they have on, or if I, if they've been doing something, or if I see something on social media, I may, kind of strike up a conversation and say, "Oh, I saw that you guys went to see this movie. How was it? I've been looking forward to going to see it soon," or what have you. But I always compliment people because I think that it personally helps you understand your self-worth, especially if you have a conversation with that person and that person in turn says something really nice or brings up a point, about you that you didn't even realize. Because a lot of times we say and we do things for other people, we don't think about it, but in the back of our mind we may be a hero for someone else. So I think the point in being is to always just be nice and be kind to other people. The 10th and final tip that I have for you is to change your thinking. And I know it is easier said than done, but what I've done over the years is I have just kind of honed in on thinking very optimistically about a lot of things, especially life in general. A lot of things don't always go the way that I planned or the way that I would hope they would go, but I know it's okay. I'm going down a different path, and different doesn't mean that I won't get to the destination that I'm trying to get to. It means that I'm just maybe taking another route to get to that destination. So I always try to think positive, and I think it's so important that you think positive. What it's going to do, we talked about it, it's going to build your self-esteem. It's also going to help your self-worth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.